A strong warning from the former central bank governor of a dire economic outlook for Barbados. That's our top story in our Barbados Today afternoon news update for Thursday, January the 4th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. A strong warning from former central bank governor Dr. Delisle Worrell that the outlook for the local economy is dire. In his latest economic newsletter, Dr. Worrell cautions that firm, decisive and urgent action is needed to turn the economy around and set the country on the road to economic prosperity. He noted that foreign reserves reported by the central bank were only $550 million in September, with over $100 million in foreign debt and interest payments due in the final quarter.
The NSRL and foreign exchange fee have fallen short of expectations, and government continues to spend more than it receives in taxes. The new taxes are driving the economy into recession, and the declining reserves have undermined investor confidence. The country's low credit rating means that it has no access to foreign market borrowing, and maturing debt has to be repaid in full.
It will now be less tedious and costly for local crop farmers to plant seeds and produce food. That's because the Ministry of Agriculture is now in possession of new technology that would eliminate much of the physical effort and cut costs, thanks to a Canadian-funded project. During the handing-over ceremony at the Ministry of Agriculture this morning, Chief Agricultural Officer Lennox Chandler said the price of food crops should also drop.
It's my understanding that this piece of technology is being introduced for a number of reasons. One, to remove drudgery, because a certain amount of drudgery and physical effort required in agriculture, especially with planting of seedlings. Two, it should reduce costs of these activities. Therefore, by reducing costs, your overall cost of production will be reduced to the farmers, and we would expect to see that reflected in a reduction of prices to the consumer, which doesn't always happen. That's something that we hope to do.
Two Barbadian artists will be honored next week at the second annual Barbados Independent Film Festival. Alison Hines will be recognized for her outstanding contribution to the entertainment industry, and local filmmaker Sharika Bourne for her drama A Midnight Summer Dream. The announcement was made this morning during a media launch of the film festival, which opens on Tuesday with a gala at the Barbados Museum and Historical Society. The University of the West Indies declares its intention to place more emphasis on economic transformation and social justice in the coming years. Speaking on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the UWI, Vice-Chancellor Sir Hilary Beckles said this would be the institution's role in helping to address what he called this crippling economic crisis facing the region.
And for this reason, our strategic plan is subtitled Rekindling Caribbean Economic Development. We need to generate more wealth in this region. We need to redistribute this wealth more equitably. The economic transformation of this region is critical to the future of our university. So as we speak about economic growth and the emphasis our university will place on economic transformation, we will also speak simultaneously about social justice. These have been our traditional objectives.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today
news you can trust. We're back with news from the region now. The Treasury of the Trinidad and Tobago government raked in close to $500,000 in speeding tickets last year. And so far this year, fines have gone past $220,000 already. This despite an increase in the speed limit to 100 kilometers per hour.
You give a man 100 kilometers per hour, he'll probably take 101. The police are once again urging motorists to observe the speed limit after issuing a number of speeding tickets for the first 3 days of the year. On the flip side, though, the offenders have been bringing in revenue for the state.
The Highway Patrol units issued $424,000 in speeding tickets for the breach of the 100 already. So again, it goes to show people have gotten the increase that they requested, but now they're pushing it again.
And don't think you can get away with lawless driving on the main roads or within built-up areas.
Already for this year, the speed guns have been operating on main roads and have generated $220,000 in fines.
And on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened former chief strategist Steve Bannon with legal action over so-called defamatory statements about Trump's son and son-in-law over a meeting with the Russians during the 2016 presidential campaign.
An odd move for a president, but not for Donald Trump. His lawyer is issuing a cease and desist letter to Steve Bannon after he described Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with Russians at Trump Tower as treasonous in a new book. But Bannon on his radio show this morning says he still stands by the president. Take a listen.
I don't care what Trump says. He would have never gotten in without you.
Let's go. Thank you for the kind words. And by the way, nothing will ever come between us and President Trump and his agenda. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about us and the MAGA agenda, President Trump. It's we're tight on this agenda as we've ever been.
What you didn't hear Bannon there say is that he takes back or was falsely quoted when talking about Trump's son and son-in-law.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or even like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.